Alrighty guys, so we've got back extensions. Before we kick off with the back extensions, I just want to talk about adjustment of the machine. So it depends on what you're trying to target as to what kind of adjustment you're going to have on the machine. But basically this machine has two ways of moving, which is just extending forward and then bringing it back down lower. If you're quite short, you would obviously bring it down low. If you've got longer legs, you can bring it up so that it's the right spot of your hips. The two different ways that you can do a back extension are to bend from the spine and actually work your lower back, or keep your spine straight, bend from the hips, and then it's much more of a glute and hamstring kind of movement. So what I'll do is just knock this up a couple clicks, and we'll just start with that first one, which is bending from the spine. So you want to bring the platform quite high up, which means that your hip joint is sort of lower but behind the pads, and that way you are forced to bend from the spine, okay? And then you will feel basically a pump in your spine, and you won't be feeling much of a sensation in your glutes and hamstrings as you go. You can always obviously have a weight in your hands down here too to add resistance. If we're talking about the back extension where you move from the hip joint, then you're going to bring it as low as possible basically, so that your hips well and truly clear the top of the pads, and that way as I sink down I can keep my back straight and I have this nice big stretch throughout my hamstrings and glutes. So as I extend up, I'm moving from the hip joint and trying to keep my back as straight as possible, which allows me to target the hamstrings and glutes as I do this move.